George Washington in the Revolution. And I don't mean he just made sure that all the soldiers got it. They didn't actually have vaccines like shots yet. But what they did have, and this is really fascinating because I didn't know this until I just did some research on it recently. But when then this actually goes back thousands of years, but it wasn't something that we were doing in Western culture until relatively recently. At the time, is they would take when somebody got smallpox. It started off in China probably, but it was also they did that in Africa and basically everywhere except here where there was smallpox. They did it in China. They did it in Africa. And what would happen is when you got smallpox, they would pop the sore and they would put the stuff from the sore. They would keep that and they would dry it out and then they'd crush it into a powder and then they'd blow that powder up people's noses. And then that powder would give them a small infection and most of the time people would survive it. Now, like 98, 99% of the time people would survive it. Like 1 or 2% of the time people would die. But that's like versus 30 or 40% of the time people would die when they got infected, because it would just give them a more mild infection. And so it saved a lot of lives. And in the revolution, the British troops actually had more immunity because they lived in smaller communities or larger communities, and so they had been more likely been exposed and survived before. The U.S.